Are you getting bad frames in Arcane Odyssey? Do you want more frames? Well, I may or may not have been working on this, and I did a lot of testing. Right now, as you can see, I am getting a fluctuating amount of frames from around 60 to 30. If I go toward the city in Ravenna, oh, it goes down to 30. Well, I have worked on something that you can get 60 to 80 frames at Ravenna, which is crazy. And this is what it also looks like when you have two graphics. It stays about the same. So I have a solution for this. And if you want to know what it looks like, this is what it looks like. I'm getting about 60 to 70 to 80 sometimes. And it's just crazy. This is in Ravenna. I get around 80 plus when I go away from Ravenna. And I'm at 7 graphics. I can go to 9. Still at that. If I can go to 10. Still at 60. And as you can see, I can see all of Ravenna mostly. But I still have 60 frames. So how did I do it? Well, let me show you how I did it. So I use something called Bloxstrap. This thing right here. I'll basically give a straightforward tutorial on how to download it. You go to this link in the below, made by Pizza Boxer, whatever. You go to code, scroll down a bit, go here, and then here, installing. Download latest one of these Bloxstrap right here, and you just download this. This is the thing you click on, it'll download like that. So yeah, that's done. That's done downloading, and you can run that. It's safe to use, so don't worry about it. And yeah, that's it. And if you want to know how to edit it or like how to change the settings on it, you want to go to your menu and then search Bloxstrap right here, and you'll see it'll come up menu. Then you open that, and that's how you can change everything about it. That's the cool stuff. Okay, that's it. It may say like Windows it's maybe a virus. It's not, surprisingly. I'm using it and I'm still alive, so it's usable. And what this does is this is basically a bootstrapper where it changes the Roblox launcher a bit before launching it, and it's a really fun thing to use because of how customizable it is. And well, this is the things that I did. So I did some mods like the cursor. If you saw in the last section, I had a different cursor. I had a dot cursor, and I did that by using this here, the mods folder. If I go to content, if I go to textures, I see I have a mouse locked cursor here. I just made this, and here we have it. So this one is like when it's only clickable, and it's clickable, so like you can customize it to whatever you want. It's crazy, but that's not the main focus of this video. The main focus of this video is how do I get more FPS out of Roblox? Well, what I used is FastFlags here. FastFlags is basically features that Roblox like launcher that you can change, and it affects your gameplay, like the look of the game, not the gameplay mostly. And it's a really cool way of how they did it here. Like you can customize it if you want to go. If you go to the FastFlag editor here, but basically we have the simple ones here, so you can change your frame rate limit. My screen goes to 144 Hertz, so I set it to 144, but it's up to you how much you want to set it, and it's basically you just do as you do. Then we have preferred lighting technology. This is a really cool feature, but I'll just keep it as chosen by game because sometimes it actually makes it worse. So I'll just keep it like this. And everything else is literally just like if you want to do it, you do it. This is a graphics slider where you can change from 10 to 21. It's up to you. I just keep it off for simplification. And yeah, so everything else here is just like just for the looks of it. And if you want to know what I did or how I changed it, just how I got more FPS, you have to go to the FastFlag editor right here. Here is when you can do some pretty cool stuff. These are all fast flags, and these flags allow you to change some of the features, like rendering features inside of Roblox itself. And these 10 flags have allowed me to get like above 60 frames average from the 30 to 60 we would get before to 60 to 80 to even 100 sometimes. And in other games, I get like 300. So it's pretty cool. But let me just explain what these do exactly. So the first flag here is texture quality override enabled. That's just so you can like change texture quality override. So this is basically the amount of quality that the texture can have, and it's set to 3 because 3 is default. But you can change that if you want to. You can change it to 2 or 1 or 0 for lowest, but I wouldn't recommend that. So I just set it to 3 just for the looks of it. And you want to have this to be true, the override enabled to be true, so that it works in game. So that's for textures. Then I have this one here, which is basically LODs. So if you don't know what LOD is, it's called level of detail. And basically the way it works, meshes or Roblox models have like, you know, a model, right? And what this does is, depending on how far you are from the model, it'll change its model depending on how far you are. So it'll make it lower quality if you're further away, or higher quality when you're really close to it. And I have it set to this because I think this is the best amount where you won't be noticing much that big of a change. And from far away, you'll still see it's like the same thing, but it just won't be in full scale. Roblox has this on default to be like 2,000 to 3,000 studs, and that barely makes a difference. Here, this one is, you can see it happen, but you won't notice it as much. So I have it set to this. So 250 for the highest quality, 500 a bit lower quality, 750 slightly lower, and then 1,000 for the lowest quality. So I think this one, this alone, I think helped me gain like 10 FPS in Arcane Odyssey, and it's really cool. Now for the next cool thing is this one, integer debug frame quality level override. This I think is the main game changer, as what this does, basically, this forces Roblox to make the graphics quality of the game to be whatever it is on the bar. So you know how we have a 1 to 10 graphics level in the normal launcher, and below 6 is low quality, and above 6 is higher quality. You get like, you know, like really cool shadows and stuff. This forces the game to be whatever number it is, but you can change how far you can see. So you can change the render distance, and it's really cool. Let me just give an example. So we're loading into playing crazy, and if you look at the game right now, as you can see, it doesn't hold the whole map. And if we go to that, loads only like the area near me. If I go to 10, it loads the whole map. But if you look closely at the quality, it doesn't change at all. So that fast flag alone is exactly what I wanted from Roblox a really long time ago. I just want 2 different bars, one for graphics quality and one for render distance, but they have never added that. So this is basically turning the graphics quality bar into a render distance bar, and if you look at the frames here, I'm getting 144 no matter what part I put it in. It is crazy good. And this, I think this has gotten me 20-ish frames or 30 frames from in Arcane Odyssey. So this is one of the most important flags you should have completely. Yes, this is a really important one. But yeah, that's what that flag does. And that's how you can use it in-game, changing your render distance on the fly. It's crazy. And if you want, let's say, to have a higher quality, if you want to have shadows, you can just set it to 7, 8, or 9. So whatever you want. So that's that one. So we went over LODs, we went over textures, we went over the graphics quality to make it permanent. Now what does these 3 do? Well, this one is CoreGuiTypeSelfViewPresent. This is a part of a new, like the new face cam thing of Roblox. It's really dumb. It's so uncanny, and like it's for that extra one frame I have it disabled so that it will never show up. And you can also, it's just really annoying. Okay, just make sure if you change something, you don't save it. Okay, so that's that. Then we have flag in-game menu v1 full screen title bar. Okay, so I double checked what it does. It's basically, it removes, you know, when you put your mouse on the top of the screen and sometimes you get that weird Roblox bar that like can close Roblox. It's a really dumb feature to have on PC. Okay, it's really dumb. It removes that, so it'll never show up ever. So look, I'm putting my mouse up here, nothing. And this is the dot mouse I was talking about. It's really cool. But yeah, that's what it does. And last but not least, we have integer render shadow intensity. This is basically the player shadow, and I have that as 0. So players will not have any shadows, and basically gets you some frames at least. So those 10 flags all together allow me to get 60 plus frames at Ravenna, and like it's really good. And here I'm getting 144. In other games, if I uncap it just like that, then let me relaunch Roblox. So this is what uncapped FPS looks like. It, you know, I'm getting around 200 to 300 here, but I suggest not doing this because it's literally just forcing like your graphics card to run at a stupidly high speed for no reason. Because if your screen doesn't support it, what's the point of you getting 300 frames? Like, it's just, you're just stressing out your PC, and it might crash. Sometimes it might crash. So it's better to cap it to what your laptop runs at, so, or your screen runs at. So if it's, let's say 60 frames, you make it run at 60 frames max. That's it. You don't have to go higher than that. If it's 144, like my one is, you make it run at 144 because that's the highest it can go. And if it's for whatever reason like less than that, I don't think anything is less than that, you make it run at that speed because you're just forcing the game. And another thing is that, let's say even after doing this, you get, let's say 40 frames, okay, or 30 frames. Let's say on average you get 30 frames, you don't get any higher than that at all. You set your cap at 30 frames. Why? Because I explained this one before. The fluctuation of the frames is what makes it seem laggy. If I were to force my game to run at a fixed 30 frames now, it'll actually look smooth. And this is what it looks like. So this is what 30 frames look like, as you can see. Now, when you see in YouTube, you will see it at max 60 frames only. You will never see it above 60 frames. But you will see it's a bit choppy right now. But it's because your eyes haven't adjusted to it yet. Once your eyes adjust to constant 30 FPS, you will feel like there's no lag. And it's the same thing for like the difference between 60 and 144 FPS. The difference between 144 FPS and 60 FPS is huge when you compare them. But when you're not comparing them, when you look at them like separately, you'll just forget that it's even there. And this is the cool thing about frames, is that our eyes have adjusted to an even number of frames, but at the 30 to 60 or like the multiple of 30 ranges. So for the double of 60 is a 120. I don't know why it's actually 144. There's probably some technical thing in that, but it works. So yeah, so playing at 30 is good. You can even play at 25, I believe. So our eyes have actually it goes into like a weird cartoonish type look for 25 FPS. It works. But again, that's if you're getting just about 30 FPS, okay? So test around. You have to test around, see what works. And there's also a lot more tutorials on how to get frames, like, you know, changing some things such as changing the render. So there's something called Vulkan, which you can use, but it doesn't work for everyone. For me, it lowers my FPS because Roblox doesn't support it as much. My graphics card does support it, but Roblox's new system don't support it, so it works worse. but that is said to increase your FPS by like 3 times if it works, that is. So you have, if it works for you, you're pretty lucky. If it doesn't work for you, like me, then you just have to use whatever Roblox is using as a default. And yeah, that's it basically. So these 10 flags allowed me to get 60 to 80 to 100 frames in Arcane Odyssey, and I like, this is the best thing that I found. And the cool thing about this is that I'll be testing more with this, because this is, you can just keep adding stuff to it. It's crazy. And yeah, and by the way, I'll be leaving a few links. So this is, you know, Bloxstrap. Go watch a few videos on how to install it first, then you can use these. And I'll put all of these flags in description and in a comment. And I'll also put links to the things that you can try on your own. So I use this here. These are all the flags that I use to test it out, and some of these, they work really well, and you can also experiment on your own. And this is the thing I was talking about. So you can have this here. You can use this, just if you don't know how to copy paste it. So you just copy it here like that. Then you just go to import JSON and you paste it, and boom, that gets added right here. So, and I can't use it, so just delete selected, and that's it. So it's basically like you just add mods to your Roblox, and it's really cool. I'll put links to everything, and I'll also put links to the Bloxstrap Discord server, because I use that to like make this. And these are all things done by the community, so special thanks to them, because I wouldn't have known that this did LOD stuff without them. So yeah. So now I'm going over tricks that you can do within Arcane Odyssey to increase your frames. Right now I'm at like 30 to 40 frames because of my ship, because the ship has like thousands of parts. Vtex, please optimize the ship, please. But anyway, there's actually quite a few things you can do to make your game run faster within the game as well. If you go to your menu, go to your settings, you can see all of these settings. Now let me just set them all correctly. So actually, yeah, they're all set correctly basically. If I just do this and do this and that's it. So these are basically my settings, and the way they work is, if you look at the 3 things, render distance, oh no, not 3 things, 5 things. So we have render distance, which I have set to 100, but you can set that to literally 50 or 250, but 250 is where it gets laggy. So in PvP, I have this set around 50, and this is actually has a huge FPS. Like look at this, like instantly from that I get a 60 now from here. But basically, this does help a lot. And same goes for texture quality. Texture quality, surprisingly, I get more FPS when it's high than when it's low. And I don't know why, but for me, it's like that. I don't. It's again, depending on what thing you use, it's weird. VFX quality is basically, so if you look at my skills, as you can see, it's like that. If I change it to high, then it gets much more, like, you know, much more effects. I have that set as off because that does actually lag a lot. I have show place notes off because, like, that's just going to be littered all around the map. There's going to be thousands of them on the map, so it's just turning off. And terrain details, I don't know what this does exactly, but I have it off. And yeah, that's literally it. And this, I think, helps me to get that consistent 60 to 100 frames. So try that. And now I want to go over one huge factor, is your inventory. Your inventory, I've done a lot of testing. A lot of testing. But your inventory is a source of, like, lag. It's the source of all lag. And Vtex really needs to fix it, because we're already just in the first sea and I'm suffering from just opening the inventory, and then the game pauses for like a good 20 seconds sometimes 5, sometimes 1, sometimes a minute. Like now, right now, I'm like, look, I can move my mouse around still. It's busted. But there is a way to around this, and it's not pretty, but it's to sell your inventory. The more items you have in the inventory, the more laggy it gets. So you really have to take your time. It's still not back. It's still laggy. I don't know why. It still haven't loaded in yet. It takes a good minute or two sometimes. And since I have 16,000 items in this inventory alone, it's crazy. But in my trading inventory, I have around 100,070 items because of cannonballs and everything. Why isn't it still loaded in yet? What is this? Is it... Did it crash? Did it actually crash? Okay, looks like Roblox just crashed. Wow, okay. Oh no, guys, exactly. Do you see what I mean? It was gone for a good 2 minutes. But, yeah. It's the problem. The main problem here is items such as these items which have thousands of duplicates of, like, the dies or the different levels. It's these ones. How? These are all different dyed, and they look the exact same, but they're not, and they have different levels, they have different everything, and like items that are like 3 in 1 item, 10 in 1 item, these are fine. So these scrolls aren't making it lag because you only have one of them, but stuff like this, yeah, reinforced. For some reason, I have 3 stacks of them, and that's gonna lag. That's gonna make the game lag, and it's dumb. It's really dumb. There has to be a better way to like make this load, because this is what causes a lot of lag. And don't even look at the shipyard menu. You have thousands upon thousands of sales. I've sold around 3,000 unique sales. Look at my comments. I had around 3,000 common of them, and that alone helped me gain like 20 FPS. I used to have like 20 FPS average. So just look at this. I open my sales. It takes a lot of time for it to load in. I have 656 parts here, and look, I get lag spikes when I try to load them in. But then here, if I go to firepower, I have 144,000, mostly cannons, just cannon stuff. But it loaded in an instant because it's all in one item. That is the main thing that makes the game laggy or not laggy. My main slot, I really want to play on a main slot. I have around 800 hours on it right now. I have, yeah, 817 hours on it. But it gets really, really bad to play in it because of how badly optimized the inventory is. And when you play on a different slot, it feels like heaven when you play on it because of how good the FPS is, because it has no items. I have a Shadow Mage slot. It has like I'm not kidding, 600 items in total. Because I've done no farming on it, no grinding at all. I just have it max leveled. Finish the story on it, that's it. And it has the most frames. I can show it right now. Just look at those beautiful frames. Ah, I'm getting so good frames here, and it's so sad because of how dumb the system works. Look at this, 33 items. Here, 288. I have less than 1,000 items in here, and it helps so much. Another interesting thing is another trick you can do is you can go into full screen mode if you use Direct3D11. If you use that renderer, you can go. Look at how many frames I'm getting! Look, I'm getting 100 frames. It's crazy. And then look, I can just do this, and I still get 180. Like, what is this? I'm crying. I'm crying right now. But another cool thing you can do is, even though you reach, say 100 frames by doing this, by having an empty inventory, if you press Alt Enter you go into full screen mode, and this is true full screen. Basically what true full screen is you basically have zero input lag, and this like there's nothing in between you and the Roblox game. Basically, when you're not in true full screen mode like this, and let's say you press F11, you go full screen, but this is not in true full screen mode, because I can do Alt Tab, and you can go here, right? But the difference between this and true full screen mode is that right now the game is showing on the desktop, and then it's showing to the screen. What if I press Alt Enter again? What this does is Roblox goes directly to your screen instead of going through the desktop or to your OS system and then your screen. No, Roblox goes directly to your screen, and it feels so much better. Like it's such a big difference. And combine this with everything else I've done before, and you get a really good gameplay within Arcane Odyssey. High frames. It just looks amazing. Also, let me just do this. Oh, look at that. Like, okay, then make sure everything is turned off. Let's have that off for fun. Do this, and boom. So now I have really good frames, and just overall a better experience than if I didn't have those good frames. Also, I can't aim. I cannot aim. What is this? I cannot aim with this. I need this. But yeah, I'm just trying my best to find the best ways to increase FPS. Getting an empty inventory is one of the good ways. Of course, you know, having a good PC or laptop helps a lot. I've actually went ahead and bought better RAM, and it helped a lot. Getting faster and better RAM helped me get like double my FPS from what I would get before. I used to get like 20 to 30 FPS even with a gaming laptop. So in other games I get easy 144, easy. Like even with Steam games I get 144 frames. Only Arcane Odyssey is this badly optimized, but now I'm also optimizing it, so like it's crazy. But yeah, yeah, so that's how you can try to make Arcane like optimize Arcane Odyssey if you want to. And again, it might work for you, it might not. For me it did work, so I guess that's a good thing. But it's not 100% chance it's gonna work, so you really have to try it out by yourself. You really have to, like, you know, see what works, see what doesn't, and yeah. Come on. There you go. Okay, so yeah, having an empty inventory helps a lot, like a lot. I'm reaching 100 in Ravenna. Then imagine what I can hit in like away from Ravenna. Like, I just really want more frames. Just the amount of frames that I'm getting here is 90 plus is just crazy. It is just crazy. Like, just by playing on a different like slot with less items also helps a lot. So yeah, if you're playing on your main slot, try to get to I think getting to around 1,000 items or like 2,000 items. I think that's the sweet spot. And less than that is obviously much better, but like, you know, you have to have some items, right? So you need to have some reagent or something. So it's mostly the hats that causes the problems. Like, look at how fast these load in. So it's mostly these type of duplicates where they cause just so much lag. Like, just the same item coming over again and again. Having thousands of the same item, but like not in one stack, is what causes the mess up and like just the lag overall. So yeah, that's how you can optimize Arcane Odyssey itself and your inventory and stuff. Also, there's also like lag you get from like, you know, hybrid builds like Shadow Conjurer, like Shadow Imbued, Shadow Conjurer, Fire Conjurer, having its fire immune to its weapons, or Like basically any hybrid build has this problem. So to fix those, you just have to reset or rejoin. But other than that, that's pretty much it. So I've also asked around in the community a lot, and I found out that Aimzel actually gets around 240-ish frames when he's not in Ravenna. When he's outside of Ravenna, he gets around that much. And when he's at Ravenna, he also gets that 60 to 100 amount, which I get as well. And when I'm outside of Ravenna, I get from 80 to 100. So it's pretty interesting that Ravenna is basically the blame for all the lag, or most of the lag, and we spawn here. So like, yeah. Obviously, the game is a bit unoptimized as of right now, so we're gonna have to wait for it being fixed because there's a lot of stuff happening. Like there's a lot of memory leaks and stuff like that. So we're gonna have to wait for VTX on that. And I just really want to say that we should just have a month or 2 or 3 months just on bug fixing and optimization. I think we all need that because the Arcane Odyssey is like almost the only game which is this unoptimized for now, and it like the community has to give VTEX a time as well. If the community gets mad over why there's not much content, well, they're just forcing VTEX to just add more content while it's still being laggy. So I think like just let VTEX do his own thing for now, and we do need like an optimization update because really like we really do need that. I think that would make Arcane Odyssey much more enjoyable to play. He already made his own debug feature where like he can check where like all the memory leaks are coming from now, which I think is really cool that he can do that. I mean, he is the master. He is a really good coder. So like, he's just really good. Okay, he's a machine. If you guys have any suggestions, like maybe some fast stuff that I don't know about, because there's a lot to go through, so I need to do some digging myself as well. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one, I guess. And again, try these things at your own risk. If it breaks, just undo it. If it doesn't break and it helps, use it. If it gives you less FPS, don't use it, obviously. But yeah, that's it. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh, can I wave? Bye.